and then asking them to try it.
Did Mary actually escape the back rooms? Full theory. Drop a like. Tell me in the comments. Do you think Mary escaped, or is she still in there? By the end of this, your answer is going to change. I promise you that. Let's get into it. Everyone talks about Clark. Everyone talks about Captain Clark. Everyone analyzes the ending. But almost nobody, and I mean almost nobody, is asking the most important question in this entire movie. What actually happened to Mary? Not what we were shown. What actually happened? Because Clark's story is the one the movie wants you to focus on. Clark is the obsession. Clark is the mystery. Clark is the one the backrooms wanted. But Mary? Mary might be the one the backrooms truly never planned to let go. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Clark and Mary entered the backrooms for completely different reasons. Clark went in chasing something, an answer, a discovery, a need to understand, and the backrooms recognized that immediately. It gave him exactly what that kind of person craves: more questions. But Mary didn't want answers. She wanted one thing: her friend back. And that's a completely different psychological profile. Think about how a trap is designed. You don't build the same trap for every animal. You build it around what that specific creature wants, what it loves, what it can't resist. Clark was baitable with mystery, Mary was baitable with love, and the backrooms knew exactly which one to use on her. Now here's where the first theory kicks in, and this is something most people miss completely: the memory recreation. When Clark enters the backrooms, we see things connected to his life. The furniture store, the familiar spaces. It feels almost comforting at first, almost like home, but then something changes. Mary starts seeing places connected to her past. Not Clark's, not random rooms, hers. And that is deeply, deeply wrong. Because it means the backrooms didn't just scan Clark, it scanned Mary the moment she stepped in. It pulled her memories, her emotions, her specific history, and it started building a world just for her, not to comfort her, to control her. But here's the theory that almost nobody is talking about. If the backrooms can recreate memories, if it can pull specific details from a person's mind, how do we know it's only doing that inside the backrooms? Think about that. What if the scanning doesn't stop when you leave? What if the moment you step into the backrooms, it doesn't just read your past? It starts preparing your future, mapping out exactly what your escape would need to look like, what your home would need to feel like, what the people around you would need to say, to make you believe you're free. This leads us to what I call the constructed exit theory. The backrooms is not a mindless maze. The movie makes that clear. It learns, it adapts, it evolves. So here's the question. If the backrooms is smart enough to recreate a whole neighborhood, is it smart enough to recreate a whole life? Because here's the terrifying part. You don't need to keep someone physically trapped if you can trap them mentally. A prisoner who believes they're free never looks for the exit. They settle in, they relax, they stop questioning. And that is the most perfect prison imaginable. No walls, no monsters, no buzzing yellow lights. Just your life, exactly as you remember it, except it isn't. Now let's talk about Clark, because Clark's arc isn't just a tragedy. It's a warning sign that the movie plants specifically for us to understand what happened to Mary. When Mary finally finds Clark, what does she discover? He's not the same. He doesn't want to leave. He's no longer curious. He's consumed. And the movie is very deliberate about showing you this, because it wants you to ask, how long does that transformation take? And more importantly, could it happen to someone who never planned to stay? Because here's the part that should terrify you. Mary spent a long, extended time inside the backrooms looking for Clark. She wasn't a quick passerby. She went deep. She saw things. She experienced what that place does to the human mind. So by the time she escapes, how much of her was still actually her? This connects to the second major theory, the contamination theory. There's a concept in psychology called environmental conditioning, the idea that a place or situation can rewire how your brain interprets reality. The backrooms doesn't just trap bodies, it traps perception. It rewires how you measure what feels normal, and once you've been in there long enough, normal starts to drift. What if Mary escaped physically, but her perception never fully came back out?
Before we continue, a lot of people ask how I make so many backrooms videos so quickly. The answer is ElevenLabs. It's the tool I use to turn these theories and scripts into full videos without spending hours recording voiceovers. If you've ever wanted to make videos like this yourself, check out the link in the description.
What if she's living her real life right now, but interpreting it through a mind that was permanently altered by the backrooms? She wouldn't even know. She'd feel fine. She'd feel free. And that would be worse than any monster chase in the entire movie. Now here's where we bring in Captain Clark. And this is where it gets genuinely disturbing. The Captain Clark theory has been debated a lot in this community. The popular version is that Captain Clark is the real Clark. And while I think that theory has major merit, I think people are focusing on the wrong part of it. Because the real question Captain Clark raises isn't about Clark. It's about what the Backrooms is capable of building. If the Backrooms can construct a version of Clark convincing enough to fool people who knew him, then it can construct a version of anyone, a mother, a friend, a partner, anyone Mary would need around her to feel safe. Anyone whose presence would stop her from asking questions. Think about who's around Mary in that ending. Think about how quickly things feel normal again. Think about whether that speed is comforting or suspicious. And now we hit the theory that I think is the darkest one in this entire analysis, the timeline collapse theory. Here's something the movie implies, but never fully explains. Time inside the Backrooms does not move the same way as outside. There are small details throughout the film that hint at this. Certain things feeling older than they should, certain details being slightly off. So here's the question. When Mary escapes, how much time has passed outside? Because if time inside the Backrooms moves differently, Mary could emerge believing she was gone for days, when in reality, years have passed. Or the opposite, she could emerge believing she was gone for weeks, when barely any time has passed at all. And here's why that matters. Because a world that has moved on without you, a world that has changed in ways you don't understand, looks almost identical to a fake world the Backrooms constructed. The confusion feels the same, the disorientation feels the same. And if you can't tell the difference between a real world that has moved on and a fake world that was just built for you, then you have absolutely no way to know where you actually are. Let's bring it all together. Is Mary trapped? I don't know. The movie doesn't know, or more accurately, the movie knows and it's not telling us. And that ambiguity is completely intentional, because the Backrooms operates on one core principle throughout this entire film. It gives you exactly enough to believe what you want to believe. Clark believed he was close to answers. Mary believed she was close to saving him. And maybe, just maybe, the movie is doing the same thing to us as an audience, giving us just enough to feel like we understand, while keeping the real truth one layer deeper. Here's what I keep coming back to. Every time Mary makes a decision in the Backrooms, it's the right decision. Every time she needs a door, there's a door. Every time she needs a sign, there's a sign. And the Backrooms just doesn't work that way. Not for Clark, not for anyone else we see. The Backrooms fights back, it resists, it misleads. So why was Mary's path so cooperative? Unless the Backrooms wasn't fighting her at all, unless it was guiding her, all the way to an exit it built specifically for her, all the way to a life it designed to keep her comfortable, all the way to a freedom that was never real. So let me ask you one more time, do you think Mary escaped, or do you think she's living inside the most sophisticated trap the Backrooms ever built? And here's the question that will keep you up tonight. If it did construct her entire life around her, would she ever want to know? Let me know in the comments, because this community has theories I haven't even thought of yet. And subscribe, because there are details hidden inside this movie that we haven't even scratched the surface of. The Backrooms is deeper than anyone realizes, and we're just getting started. If you enjoyed this video, you may enjoy this one on screen as well.